ਚੱਕਰ ਚਿਹਨ ਅਰ ਬਰਨ ਜਾਤ ਅਰ ਪਾਤਨ ਹਿੰਦ ਜਿਹੇ ਰੂਪ ਰੰਗ ਅਰ ਰੇਖ ਭੇਖ ਕੋ ਕਹਿ ਨ ਸਕਤ ਕਹੇ ਅਚਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਨਭਉ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਮਿਤੋਜ ਕਹਿਜੈ ਕੋਟ ਇੰਦਰ ਇੰਦਰਾਨ ਸਾਹੇ ਸਾਹਾਨ ਗਣਿਜੈ ਤ੍ਰੇ ਭਵਨ ਮਹੀਪ ਸੁਰ ਨਰ ਅਸੁਰ ਨੇਤ ਨੇਤ ਬਨ ਤ੍ਰਿਨ ਕਹਿਤ ਤਵੈ ਸਰਬ ਨਾਮ ਕਥੈ ਕਵਨ ਕਰਮ ਨਾਮ ਬਰਨਤ ਸੁਮਤ ਸਗਲ ਦਵਾਰ ਕਉ ਛਾੜ ਕੈ ਗਹਿਓ ਤੁਹਾਰੋ ਦੁਆਰ ਮਾਹੇ ਗਹੇ ਕੀ ਲਾਜ ਅਸ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਦਾਸ ਤੁਹਾਰ ਕਹਾ ਬੁੱਧ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੁਛ ਹਮਾਰੀ ਬਰਨ ਸਕੈ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਜੋ ਤਿਹਾਰੀ ਹਮ ਨ ਸਕਤ ਕਰ ਸਿਫਤ ਤੁਮਾਰੀ ਆਪ ਲੇਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਧਾਰੀ ਮੂਕ ਉਚਰੈ ਸ਼ਾਸਤਰ ਖਟ ਪਿੰਗ ਘਿਰਨ ਚੜ ਜਾਏ ਅੰਧ ਲਖੈ ਬਦਰੋ ਸੁਨੈ ਜੋ ਕਾਲ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਾਏ ਡੰਡਾਉਤ ਬੰਧਨ ਅਨਿਕ ਬਾਰ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰਥ ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ।
ਸਤਨਾਮ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਰਾਗ ਦੇਵ ਗੰਧਾਰੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਦਸਵੀਂ। ਬਿਨ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਨਾ ਬਾਚਨ ਪਾਹੈ 14 ਲੋਕ ਜਾਹੇ ਬਸ ਕੀਨੇ ਤਾ ਤੇ ਕਹਾਂ ਪਲੈ ਹੈ। ਬਿਨ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਨਾ ਬਾਚਨ ਪਾਹੈ 14 ਲੋਕ ਜਾਹੇ ਬਸ ਕੀਨੇ ਤਾ ਤੇ ਕਹਾਂ ਪਲੈ ਹੈ। ਰਹਾਉ ਰਾਮ ਰਹੀਮ ਉਬਾਰ ਨਾ ਸਕ ਹੈ ਜਾ ਕਰ ਨਾਮ ਰਟੈ ਹੈ। ਬ੍ਰਹਮਾ ਬਿਸ਼ਨ ਰੁਦਰ ਸੂਰਜ ਸਸ ਤੇ ਬਸ ਕਾਲ ਸਬੈ ਹੈ। ਵੇਦ ਪੁਰਾਨ ਕੁਰਾਨ ਸਬੈ ਮਤ ਜਾ ਕਹਿ ਨੇਤ ਕਹਿ ਹੈ। ਇੰਦਰ ਫਨਿੰਦਰ ਮੁਨਿੰਦਰ ਕਲਪ ਬਹੁ ਧਿਆਵਤ ਧਿਆਨ ਨ ਹੈ। ਜਾ ਕਰ ਰੂਪ ਰੰਗ ਨਹਿ ਜਨੀਅਤ ਸੋ ਕਿਮ ਸਿਆਮ ਕਹਿ ਹੈ। ਛੁਟ ਹੋ ਕਾਲ ਜਾਲ ਤੇ ਤਬ ਹੀ ਤਾਹੇ ਚਰਨ ਲਪਟੈ ਹੈ। ਜਾ ਕਰ ਰੂਪ ਰੰਗ ਨਹਿ ਜਨੀਅਤ ਸੋ ਕਿਮ ਸਿਆਮ ਕਹਿ ਹੈ। ਛੁਟ ਹੋ ਕਾਲ ਜਾਲ ਤੇ ਤਬ ਹੀ ਤਾਹੇ ਬਚਨ ਤਾਹੇ ਚਰਨ ਲਪਟੈ ਹੈ। ਰਾਗ ਦੇਵ ਗੰਧਾਰੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਦਸਵੀਂ। ਬਿਨ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਨਾ ਬਾਚਨ ਪਾਹੈ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸਾਜੀ ਨਿਵਾਜੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਆਪ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਹਜ਼ੂਰੀ ਇਕੱਤਰ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਨਾਮ ਰੂਪੀ ਕਥਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਰਵਰਨ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ we bless you in the court of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji, of Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji, whose Bani we're going to go through today. This is the last Shabad in Shabad Hazaare Parchar Dasvee. So for 10 weeks, Guru Sahib Ji's Kirpa, with their grace, we go for this Katha of Shabad Hazaare Parchar Dasvee. So today will be the last Katha. And then after, as the Granthi Singh said, about next week is Nagar Kirtan. The Nagar Kirtan to baad, I think the week after, the Vaisakhi celebrations start, 9 Tariq, and I think 16 Tariq, the 9th and 16th. So also baad Sahib, we start a new Bani, probably Dakhni or Ankar. So just in summary, we went through the last Katha, and this Katha as well, what Guru Sahib is speaking about, is this idea of there's only one, Parameshwar WhyGuruji. That when we come into Sadh Sangat, we're able to understand this. That Maharaji tells us every single day that we're given this human body, that Pai Prapat Manuk De Huriya, Gobind Milan ki ehe teri badiya. That WhyGuruji has given us this human body. For which reason? We have many reasons why we have the body, we do many things with it. But the Guru is saying that there's one important thing. Gobind Milan ki ehe teri badiya. Teri badiya, teri wadi means your turn. The Guru said this is our turn to meet WhyGuruji. Avara kaj tere kite na kam mile sadh sang the bhaj ke var naam. So you could do many things in life, but the Guru said the one thing we should all be doing is sadh sangat. The Sadh Sangat vich baith ke sitting in Sadh Sangat bhaj ke var naam. Bhaj pave bhajan bandagi. Bhajana, bhajan. To recite, to keep remembering WhyGuruji. That is Sadh Sangat, where we sit together in the Guru's Charana Sharan and we remember WhyGuruji. So Guru Maharaji, Peshile hafte they spoke to us in Rag Dev Gandhari, and he said, Ek bin dusara sona chinar. Ke ek bin. Ek pave WhyGuruji to bina, dusara sona chinar. Dusara means anybody else, chinar means pachanana, to see anybody else in this world. Don't see anybody else, only see WhyGuruji in every single situation. And Maharaji said, Pandana karna samrat sada prabha janata hai kartar. Pandana means to destroy. Karna. Similar as well. Samrat sada prabha. Ke WhyGuruji has all the Shakti, that they can destroy and make anything whenever they want. Pandana karna pave saas in jire dush log khan, those that are enemies, they can destroy them as well. Those are sitting outside Baharlo, they andaro satsangji, inside us as well. Our gunaha, our negative qualities. The WhyGuruji is the one that destroys everything. Those enemies outside and those enemies inside us as well. So Guru Maharaji spoke to us about that many people have tried many techniques, but at the end of their life, they leave empty-handed. Antago antake tam sadari. The ant which they go to tam means Dharmaraj's home. Utthe jande ne. And then they realize that the whole life they've lived has just been almost a waste. Because the reason for coming here was to meet WhyGuruji. And Guru Sahib speaks about this. They say to us, ke, Aaj mera man pragat paya hai. Pekhyale tarmarao. They say, Aaj. Aaj very simply means now. Aaj mera man pragat paya hai. That now in my mind this has come clear to me, ke pekhyale tarmarao. Pekhyale means to see that Dharmaraj has been watching me. The one who's going to judge us, who's going to look at every action that we've done. Pekhyale Dharmara. This also, if you look in another place in Gurbani, Guru Sahib just says to us, Ke Dharmara jab lekha mage, kya mukha leke jayega. When Dharmaraj then asks for a lekha, he says, kya mukha? With what face, what are we going to show them? Kehte Kabir sun hore sant ho, Sadh Sangat tar jahega. Guru Sahib Ji is saying to us, Bhagat Kabir Ji bachan kardan ke Sadh Sangat. By doing Sadh Sangat, by coming here into Guru Sahib Ji Sharan, by doing Sat Sangat, they say Sadh Sangat tar jahega. That person will be ferried across. Tar janda hai. Sadh Sangat karke. By coming into the company of the Sadh Sangat, in the company of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji. So we're very blessed to be here in Guru Sahib Ji's Charan Sharan. So today we go for the last Shabad that Guru Gobind Singh Ji blesses us with. So Aram Karan to Pehla, let's focus our minds on the Charan of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. ਸੋ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਆਖੋ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ।
ਰਾਗ ਦੇਵ ਗੰਧਾਰੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਦਸਵੀ, ਬਿਨ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਮ ਨਾ ਬਾਚਨ ਪੈ।
So in the ninth Shabad, they say, ek bin dusra sona chira. Or before, bin kartar na kirtan mano. Bin kartar. Or keval kali kartar. Again and again, Guru Sahib Ji gives the same message to us. Well, there's only one, WhyGuru Ji. Sahib mera eko hai bhai eko hai. That there's only one, WhyGuru Ji. ਤੇ ਹੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਸਹਿਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਰਾਗ ਦੇਵ ਗੰਧਾਰੀ ਕਿ ਦੇਵ ਗੰਧਾਰੀ ਰਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਦਸਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਸੇ ਕਿ ਬਿਨ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ, ਬਿਨ ਮੀਨਸ ਵਿਦਆਊਟ, ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਕਿ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੇਮ ਨਾ ਬਾਚਨ ਪੈ ਹੈ। ਬਾਚਨ ਹੈ means to be saved from, bach. They say that nobody can be saved from Kal. Kal hai means maut, death. Ke maut to saasi, nobody can be saved from maut. Guru Sahib saying bin har naam ke Vaheguru ji de naam to bina na bachana peh hai. Nobody has been saved from maut, from death. Nobody can escape from death. Guru Gobind Singh Ji saying to us. Now of course nobody wants to die. Even this topic of death, maut, in many traditions, families, nobody talks about death. But in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji, Guru Granth Sahib Ji speaks about death all the time, about maut. If you just type in marn into Gurbani or marna, the word comes out so many times. So Bhagat Kabir Ji says to us ke jis marne sab jag dare mere mana anand. Jis marne, that fear that everybody has of death, that the whole world is afraid of, mere mana anand. They say, in my mind, it gives me so much bliss, so much anand. Anand hi anand hai. Marne hi te paiye purna paramanand. So what is the meaning of this? It comes in the Bani of Bhagat Kabir Ji, and there's authentic to the Shabad. Bhagat Kabir Ji used to live in Kanchi, and there was this thing that they say, if you live in Kanchi and you die, you get mukti. That was their thing that they would say, right? Kanchi, if you die, you get mukta. So if you're going to die, die in Kanchi. But what happened at that time, so I was thinking that there was a disease in Kanchi, cholera, Hazaare, like a disease of the stomach, obviously to do with probably bad water. So cholera was going through all of Kanchi. So what did everyone do? They left Kanchi. They ran to different villages and cities. Bhagat Kabir Ji says, what are you guys running for? If you get cholera and you die, you're going to get mukti. So understand this story. Bhagat Kabir Ji says, if you guys believe you die in Kanchi and you're going to get mukti, why are you guys running away now? The disease has come. You're going to die, you're going to get mukti. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants mukti. Asi sare kehinde ne we want mukti, but do we ask for mukti? Ardas, do we say to Guru Sahib Ji, Mukti di daat baksho? Do we ask for mukti? Do we ask for milap to meet Vaheguru Ji? Last time I checked, no. We ask for worldly things, for sukh, shanti, nakar. We should ask for that. I'm not saying don't ask for that, but we ask for things that are going to give us sukh in the world. But do we ask for Vaheguru Ji? Do we ask for that milap, union with Vaheguru Ji, or reunion? We don't ask for that. So Bhagat Kabir Ji here saying to them that I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay in Kanchi. And they say, why would you do that for? And they say, Kabir, jis marne sab jag dare, mere man anand. That death that everybody's afraid of, that is anand, that is bliss in my head or in my mind. Because by gaining that type of death, I'll meet Vaheguru Ji. The death of the ego, the death of the body, meaning I don't have to come back again and I go back to Vaheguru Ji. So something to think about, because if in their own mat, they could have all gained mukti by dying in Kanchi, then why didn't they stay in Kanchi? Because they didn't want mukti, they didn't want to die. So same for us, many times we say, we want mukti, but if there's a chance to get mukti or stay alive, most of the times somebody would rather stay alive and live for longer, because the moho, the attachment is to the body. I remember it's a bit of a funny story that came to my mind when I was with a few Singhs in Hazaare side. And this one Singh, he had asthma. Hopefully he doesn't listen to this katha. He actually edits them as well. So he had asthma, and in Punjab and Delhi, the pollution is so much. So much. Last time we checked the pollution in Punjab and Delhi, Punjab was 360, the number. England is free. I can't tell you the units. But Punjab was 360, Delhi was 300, England was free. So much pollution in India. So he had asthma and he kept coughing and coughing. And he was at Hazaare Sahib and he goes, I could have died. And none of you guys are going to help me because we were doing our job. That's the job. If we help him, we're going to have to stop our job. So he thought, chalo, if he goes, isn't it? And he goes, but I would have died. I go, you died in such kind of city, Hazaare Sahib. He goes, but I would have died. I go, but you don't understand. You could have gained mukti in such kind of Hazaare Sahib. I realized then that nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to live for longer. Even if you could leave your body in Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Asthan, such kind of city, Hazaare Sahib, now you want to live. So just like Bhagat Kabir ji saying there, ke mere mana anand, that death that everybody's afraid of, that is anand in my mind. Ke in another shabd Kabira, marta marta jagmoa, mara pe na jane koi. Marta marta jagmoa, the whole world is dying. Everybody has to go. Jo aaya, so challasi. Maharaj ji कहने के जो आया सो चलसी सब कोई आई वारी है. Everybody has to go. Everybody. Nobody can say Ram gayo, Ravan gayo, Jako Boho Parvar. Even Ram Chandra ji, who seen his avatar of the previous yugs, who had so much kala, so much powers. We hear always Sakhi in schools or in other sthans. Ram ke Maharaj ji Guru Tegh Bahadur ji aap कहते कि Ram gayo, Ram had to go as Ravan, who has such a big family. Jako Boho Parvar, 100,000 sons along these lines. Everybody has to go. So marta marta jagmoa mare pe na jane koi. But they say nobody knows how to die truly. Everybody has to die, but nobody has the true death. Bhagat ji is saying to us, Aisi marni jo mare bahur na marna hoy. But if you die that type of death, then you never have to die again. Meaning you have to come back in this body again and again. So Guru Sahib Ji speaks about maut many, many times and tries to normalize maut for us, death. That is just another stage. This body that we have is just a piece of kappara and it's going to go. Now, of course, that's easy to say because if maut came into my life, I'd get very upset as well. But it's about pulling away the layers now, making us realize there's something more than this body or this life that we live in. There's something special. So at the start, if it feels like, it's hard to digest or hard to understand, it's fine. But holy karke Maharaj ji kripa, then I will understand what Guru Sahib is saying. If we start to walk this path, Pehla marna kabul, jeevan ki chhad aas. Again, comes in Gurbani. First, accept death. Pehla marna kabul. Jeevan ki chhad aas. Give up all hopes and desires of living. Ho sabana ki renuka to aao hamare paas. Become the dust of the fear vows of the Sadh Sangat. To aao hamare paas, Maharaj ji kehte hain. So Guru Sahib Ji spoke to us both Visthat, so much detail about death. But the death of this ego, of this kam, kro, lo, monkar, this moho, this attachment that we have to the body. So bin har namna baach na peh hai. That without this naam, this is the solution, this is the answer. Ke naam to bina, nobody can escape, nobody can understand death. And if we're scared of death, if we have fear inside us, dar for maut, for death, Maharaj says that if you have fear, jeko janam marte dare, sadh jana ki sarni par. If you are afraid of death, then come into sadh sangat. Jis jan ko prabh dar se pyasa, nanak taake bal bara jasa. Because in Sadh Sangat, those people have a pyas to meet WhyGuru ji. Te Maharaj ji aap karne nanak taake bala bala jasa. We are sacrificing. The Guru is a sacrifice to that one. And that is the kind of people that we meet in Sadh Sangat. Bin har namna baach na peh. Okay, naam to bina, nobody's ever escaped from maut. But the Khalsa is beyond maut. The Khalsa goes way beyond that. Jeh marne sab jagd tarasya. Maharaj keh rahe hain. Jeh marne sab jagd tarasya. That death that everybody is afraid of, so marne Guru Sabad Pragasya. Maharaj says to us. That death that everybody, tarasya here very simply means to be scared, to be terrified of. It says, so marne Guru Sabad Pragasya. Guru Shabad Rahi, through the Guru's Bani, Pragasya, the Guru gives us his Gyan, that actually death is just another part of this whole process to go back to that one. And the way to escape it again is through naam, Maharaj says to us. So what do we ask for? What does the Khalsa ask for when we come to the Guru? In England, which we don't do it, but if you look in other countries, when I went to Southeast Asia like Malaysia, when they do Nishan Sahib Di Seva, or they do Namaskar to the Nishan Sahib, they sing a Shabad. Dehe seva bara mohe hai, subkar manate kabhu na taro. Dehe seva, or Shiva, however you want to say. Ithe saas in Siva or Shiva, the arth hai Kalyan Swarup. It's not talking about Shivji. So even in Gurbani, the word Shiva, does not just only refer to Shivji, it refers to WhyGuru, who is Kalyan Swarup. Kalyan means Mukti, the one who can give Mukti. Saying, Dehe Seva, He Kalyan Swarup, He WhyGuru, Dehe Seva, Bada Mohe E Hai. Give me this bud. Subh Karmanate Kabhuna Taro. Subh means Shubh Karam. Change Karam. Subh Karmanate Kabhuna Taro. That I never ever stop doing good actions. Na daro araso jab jai laro, nischay kar apni jeet karo. Na daro. Daro he means to have fear. Every single day we should sing this Shabad, ke may I never be afraid to do the right thing in my life. Na daro araso jab jai laro. And whenever I have to go forward in that battle, whether that's shareer karke ya man karke, for my body or my mind, nischay kar apne jeet karo. Nischay, pure nischay dena, with full faith. Nischay here means 110% faith. Not 50%, not 60, 70, 110. Over 100%. Nischay kar apne jeet karo, that I'm gonna win. This Sikh, they talk about the Sikh next as well. That in their mind they had this knowledge all the time. Gunato Uchuro. To always sing the gun of WhyGuru. That whatever battle the Sikh is facing in their life, they never forget their Guru. Jaba avaki audana dana bane, atahira rame tab juj maro. And this is the last thing that the Sikh asks. Guru Gobind Singh Ji's bachan. Dasvee Patshahi the bachan, they say, कि जब आव की औद न दान बने, आव की औद. Until in the last moments of my life, I have this one wish, this one benti WhyGuru, that may I die in the battlefield. जब आव की औद न दान बने, अतः हीर न मैं, रन मैं. Run मैं he means in the battlefield. अतः हीर न मैं तब जूझ मरो. That I die in the battlefield. That's not always meaning the physical battlefield, but it also means the battlefield of the mind. That even to my last moment, I'm fighting against these things that are attacking me all the time. Panch stave hai doot, panch doot, panch chor. Even the physical people that come in front of me. Because in today's, I was listening to a Guru Sikh, and he's talking the idea of Shahidi. And in today's, we talk about Shahidi, and it sounds such an extreme thing. Shahidi means to sacrifice, very simply, to become a martyr. But our Gurus were Shaheeds. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj Ji was a Shaheed. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. A lot of Guru Gobind in his Parvar. So, if you look at Itihas, death was something that Sikhs welcomed. It was just another part. It was just normal to them. But today's world, we're so comfortable that the idea of death, pain or torture is scary. The idea of maut, of death or any pain scares us. But Maharaj says Guru Sabad Pragasya, that through the Guru Shabad we can understand that there's something more to this. And if you look at all those Shaheed Singhs or Singhaniya we hear about in the Ardas, they all had this one thing, go to Shabad. Go to Shabad Pargasa, meet Manu in their jails. They had this one thing where the children were cut into little pieces and put around the necks of their mothers. They had this one thing of Gurbani. Main Gurbani Adar hai, Gurbani lag raha. What was their support? It was Gurbani. Main Gurbani Adar hai. Adar means support. Gurbani lag raha. That Gurbani is always taking care of me. That was what they held on to, because they say, so marne Guru Shabad Pargase, because through the Guru Shabad they understood that we're going to keep coming and going. I want to break this cycle. There is more to this body that I'm attached to. I am beyond the body. I am the Atma. Man tu jot swarup hai, apana mool pachan. Oh, my mind, realize that you're not this body, you are the Atma. This is all just a big play. There's something deep that sits inside us. That is the Atma, that is a part of Paramatma, that is a part of WhyGuru Ji. So Maharaj is saying, bin har naam na bache na paye hai. Ke naam to bin, nobody's ever escaped. Nobody's ever escaped the clutches of death. But the one who has naam, they say, naam rahiyo, sadhu rahiyo. The one who has naam, they stay forever. They're invincible. Na ohe mare, na thage jahe, jind ke ram, vase manamahe. So that person cannot die. Na ohe mare, na thage jahe. Thage means when somebody comes and steals from us. Even the panch chor cannot steal from us. Our own hankar, our own desires, everything. Jin ke ram vase manamahe. Jinne de hriday andar saas, inside their heart sits WhyGuru Ji. In their heart, in their mind. So that person, nobody can steal from them. That one lives on forever. So bin har naam na bache na paye hai. Naam hi naam. Man is given us this Sikhya, that join to naam, and then we won't have to worry about death. Hanji.
14 lok jahe bas kine, ताते कहाँ पला है.
So again Maharaj Ji bachan kar den ke 14 lok. 14 lok means in the 14 worlds. Adik. Jahe bas kine. Bas hai means vas karna, to control. 14 lok jahe bas kine, taate kahan pala hai. Kahan, they're saying, where are you going to run to? If you could run to 14 different worlds, we live on planet Earth, right? Imagine you go to 13 different worlds. Taate kahan pala hai. Where will you go, they say? Where can you go? They say death has control over all the worlds. We don't believe in 14 worlds. They're speaking to the Hindu lok. In Sikhi we say patala, lakh agasa agas. There's thousands upon thousands, millions upon millions. WhyGuru's creation is beyond. There's no end to it. But they're saying that if you look at in your own mat, if you say there's 14 worlds, then they say that death controls all of them. You can't even run to another world. You can't run from death, the Guru is saying. Have to face it. Aisi marni jo mare. If you live such a life, bahur na marna hai. You never have to die again. If you die such a death by killing the ego, like we said before. So one Sakhi to illustrate this is of a Raja. And this Raja is very, very powerful. And it comes in Slok Sanskriti. They say, Boho jatana karta. Jatan hai means yatan. Boho jatana karta. Balavan kina. Balavanakari. Say, Boho jatana karta balavanakari. Sevant sura chatra disa hai. Guru Arjan Dev Ji says that this person can make so many efforts. They can have Balavanakari. Balavan means very powerful, very strong surme. Sevanta sura. They have surme serving them, warriors. Chattara disa hai. Chattara means char dishave de vich. In all four corners, they've got warriors protecting them. Bikamathan. Bikamathan means the most hardest place to get to. Basant ucha hai. Basant means vasana, to reside. Ucha means, imagine living on the highest mountain, in the fortress so high. Bikamathan is hard to get there. Bikamathan basant ucha hai. Nehse maranta maran kadancha hai. They say you could have the strongest army on all four corners. You could reside in the hardest place to get to. And even in that place, nehse maranta, you don't think about death. Maharaj is saying, who would think about death if there's soldiers all around them? Who's going to come and attack them? ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਬਚਨ ਕਰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਸੇ ਕਿ ਹੋਵੰਤ ਆਗਿਆ ਭਗਵਾਨ ਪੁਰ ਕਹੈ ਤੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ gives the ਹੁਕਮ ਨਾਨਕ ਕੀਟੀ ਸਾਸ ਅਕਰ ਖਤੇ that WhyGuru ji can take a little kidi, a little ant, and that ant can kill that person. Guru Arjan Dev Ji says to us in Slok Sanskriti, comes at the end of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, that you could have all these soldiers, you could be in the highest fortress, but if WhyGuru Ji says it's time to go, they can even send an ant to kill you. How can that happen? Stop. We say scientifically it's not possible. How could an ant kill me? What happened during the times Guru Arjan Dev Ji gives the Sakhis or Thanika to the Shabad? There was a Raja. The Raja could preach at the Raja. And he's very, very powerful Raja, very dharmic, as a very good Raja. And what happened was that Kalju wanted to attack preach at the Raja. But he was unable to. And the Raja said to Kaljuk, to his dark age, stay away from me, don't come near me at all. And Kaljuk said that I will not come near you. And Preacher the Raja, they say to Preacher the Raja, give me some conditions, then I'll stay away from you. Preacher the Raja says that wherever there's Sadh Sangat, wherever people do naam japana, jithe lok daan karde ne, they give daan, they give charity, or they live by the truth, sat bolde ne, they speak the truth all the time, they say that death cannot come near that person. Kaljug cannot come near that person. I will not come near that person. That was the conditions that Preacher the Raja gave to them. Kaljug says to Preacher the Raja that, okay, these are all places that I can't go to, but you go to all these places. All the good people go to these places. Give me somewhere where it's like somewhere in the middle. And Preacher the Raja says, fine then, you can go where there's gold. Right? So jithe sona hai, where there's gold, you can go there, Kaljug. Right? But everyone's looking at their gold gade, their gold watches, thinking, oh, what's going on now? Right? So what happens then is Preacher the Raja goes to do shikar one day, he goes hunting one day. He's hunting, and before he goes out, he puts on his golden crown. I remember Kalju can go where there's sona. So what happened then was that he was hunting, and he came across a deer, and he went to go and kill that deer. But he couldn't catch it, and he lost the deer, and he found a sadhu sant sitting in the forests, and he asks them, where's the hidden gone, where's the deer gone? The sadhu's son was sitting in samadhi, in deep meditation. He didn't say nothing. Chup raha, they stayed quiet the whole time. Raja got angry. He's a very good king as well, and he never gets angry. But today he's under the influence of Kaljug. Kaljug means the dark age, bad thoughts, very simply, right? So why did he come under the control of Kaljug? Because he's wearing the golden crown. So what happened then was he got so annoyed with the king, he took one of his arrows and he stuck it into a dead snake on the floor. And he wrapped it around the king's neck to do his besti. Because he felt like the sadhu disrespected him. So the king was like, I'm going to disrespect him by putting this snake around him. The king went back home, took his crown off his head and thought, made a big mistake. But at that moment, the sadhu sant who was sitting there, his servant came, a shish. Shish means his Sikh, his disciple. And he saw his guru, his Gurudev, his teacher, his spiritual leader, and he saw a snake around him. He thought, who has done this to my guru? Who has disrespected my guru? So he said, whoever's done this, they're going to die in 7 days. So this student had a lot of power in his words. Whatever he said came true. His guru woke up and said, what have you done? You just put a curse on the king, and it wasn't even his fault. He's actually a good king as well. Very dharmic. Dharmi Raja. So they said, you better go warn him about this. So Preacher the Raja finds out that death is going to come from in 7 days. So what does Preacher the Raja do? He makes himself a kingdom in the middle of Ganga, in the middle of a massive river that flows in India, the Ganges. And it was very high. Bikhamatan, Basant Uche hai. Bikhamatan means a very hard place to get to. Both Katanya, very hard. Basant Uche hai. Basant means Vasna again, Uche, very high. And then he put soldiers in all corners. That we say, Sevant Sura, Chatura Disa hai. And he's got Surme serving him in all 4 corners. Bahut jatan karta, he's made many efforts, right, to save him from death. So he's done this, and he's got a mahal, a building made out of glass. Meaning that if anybody comes from any corner, even an ant, he can see it, his soldiers. Meaning that he's unstoppable, nobody can kill him, right? So what happens is that this snake is going to come and kill him, called Tatchak Nag. And it's coming on the way. The rasta de vich, it meets a doctor. And that doctor is coming to go and see the king as well, because he specializes in medicine to cure poison of a snake. And the snake says to the doctor, where are you going? They go, I'm going to see Plichita Raja to give him the cure in case the snake bites him. And the doctor says to Tatchak Nag, what are you going to do? Go, I'm going to go and cure Plichita Raja. Right? So when the doctor wasn't looking, long story short, he kills the doctor. And then he makes his way, this snake, to the kingdom, and he realizes, how am I going to get in? I can't get into the kingdom because his soul is in all four corners. So inside that kingdom, Prichita Raja had Katha going for 7 days. What I'm attempting to do right now, he had Katha of one of the Pratan Granths, maybe the Purans, going for 7 days. On the 7th day was the Pog, the end of the Katha. It got to the end. And Pog they saw, they're going to give flowers. They're going to chara these flowers. And these flowers have come from the outside of the kingdom into the kingdom. And when they're coming into the kingdom, once Tatchak Nag done, he's changed his form into a little kiri, into a little ant. And he goes and sits in those flowers. And when those flowers come inside and the Pog is happening, it's the 7th day, the Raja thinks, I've made it, man. I've survived. I'm alive. Why? It didn't happen. He goes to put his matha on the flowers, and the snake, who's in the form of an ant, sits inside that flower. And as soon as the Raja puts his matha to the flowers, that little kiri turns back into a sap, back into a snake, and bites him and kills him like that. In that moment, he dies. Just like Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Ho vant aa gaya, Bhagavan pur kahe, Nanak kiti saas akar khate. If WhyGuru Ji wants, and even an ant can kill you, can take your life, can take our life. So, Nanak kiti saas, kiti him means kiti, saas means breath, akar khate means destroy. That even there in a second, that is a sakhi that comes with the Puratan Granths when it comes to this Shabad and Slok Sanskriti, that even a little ant can take the life of that person. The Raja, Prichita Raja, had so much, Bahujatana Karta, Balavan Kari, Sevant Sura, Chatur Disar, all these people around him. Bikamathan, Basant Ucha hai, Nehse Marant, Marana Kadancha hai. Didn't think about death before he's going to live forever, but Hovant Agya Pagavan Purkim, WhyGuru Ji gives the hukam, then nobody can tell the hukam. Nobody can change the hukam of WhyGuru Ji. Nanak saas akiti saas akar khate. That person has to go. Bin har naam, na baach na pa hai. Bin har naam. Naam to bin nobody can be saved. Chaudah lok jahe bas kine. Tate kaha pala hai. Guru Arjan Dev Ji, Guru Gobind saying, Tate kaha pala hai. Where are you going to run to? Maharaj is saying to us. We cannot run anywhere, Hanji.
Rahao.
So Vishram Deke, they say, think about this. That everything is based around Naam. Without Naam, we are nothing. We have nothing. Naam da arth kya sasanga ji? We say Naam means name, Satanam, WhyGuru. Another arth of Naam is Na Moho. No moho. No more attachment. The Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Ji aap bachan karne ke jal moho kasam masakar mat kagad kar sar. First bachan by Guru Nanak Dev Ji, 5 saal di umar de vich. When they were 5 years old and they went to go learn from their teacher Panda Gopal Ji, they went to go learn their ginati minti, how to count. Guru Nanak Dev Ji went to school as well, just for like 1 or 2 days. They clocked it. For us, we go for like 15, 20 years. Still don't know nothing afterwards, right? Don't remember algebra, all this kind of stuff, right? Have to do all that difficult stuff, quadratic equations. What was it? B squared plus minus. You all know the times, right? Very hard. Some things are probably still doing it. Or Pangia. So I forgot my point now. I was too caught up in that stuff. Maharaji was saying to us, you can have all this gyan, all this stuff, but it means nothing. That when it comes to this idea of how tate kaha pala hai, where are we going to run to? Where can we go? बिन हर नाम न बाच न पहै. नाम तो बिना we are nothing. हाँ जी आगे पढ़ो जी.
राम रहीम उबार न सक है, जाकर नाम रटै है.
So then Guru Sahib Ji continues, gives examples of Ram Chandra Ji, Rahim. We talk about the Abrahamic terms or faiths. Ram Rahim Abar na saka hai. That they could even save that person either. Tate. Maharaj said that Ram Rahim Abar na saka jakar naam rata hai. Naam he means that name, rata means japana, jab karna. Even by remembering them, nobody could have been saved either. Guru Maharaj Ji bachan kar de ke Ram gayo, Ravan gayo, jako bahu parvar. Guru Tegh Bahai Ji Maharaj Ji ne gave this Upadesh to Mata Nanak Ji, to their mother, when they were sitting in Delhi, in Chithi Roop, in a letter they sent this Upadesh to Mata Nanak Ji. Everybody has to go. Nobody's gonna stay. Hanji.
Brahma Bisan Rudra Suraj Sas Te Bas Kal Sabah hai.
Fir Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra Pave Shivaji, Suraj te Sas, sun and moon. Maharaj Ji kehne ke te bas kal sabah hai, that they're all stuck under the control of Maut as well. But Maharaj Ji fir bachan karde say to us in Gurbani ke har ke sevaka jo har pae tin ki katha narari re ave na jave na kabuhu marte par brahm sangari re. The one who is a sevak of WhyGuru Ji, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh have to go. They can't stay. They're all attacked by Maut. They all have to go. So why would we become their Parchar? Why would we worship them? When you say har ke sevaka, the sevak of WhyGuru Ji, jo har pae. Pae means to make, to please, to earn WhyGuru Ji's khushiyan. Tin ki katha narari re. Narari, we can say very simply, unique. Tin ki katha, their life, their jivan is unique. Those Gurmukhs who live their life according to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Sikhi, Guru Nanak Ji, Guru Ramdas Ji Maharaj Ji, Guru Gobind Singh, all the same thing. The most simplest thing, Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Bani could be Birasi, but it's also Varagamay as well. It's not just filled with warrior spirit, it's filled with Virag. And Shabad Hazaare Patshahi, this is a Varagamay Bani. Virag here means to turn our back to the world and face the Guru, to become Sanamukh, to always be facing a Guru, whatever happens in our life. And just like how Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji in the Sikh Shabad of this Bani, they said ke Mitra Pyare Nu Hal Murida da Kehna. When they sing in Machivar, they were Sanamukh to WhyGuru Ji. Then turn their pit on the Guru, on WhyGuru Ji. Said, Tod bin rog rajai da ordna. Fair we, the hon we I still have you, WhyGuru Ji. Tod bin rog rajai da ordna. Without you, I am nothing. So Guru Sahib Ji here is saying ke Ave na jahe, na kabuhu marte. That one who becomes a sevak of WhyGuru Ji, Ave na jahe. They never come, they never go. Pave Sri de vich. They'll come back in this 84 lakh June. Ave na jave, na kabuhu marte. Bin har naam na baach na pahe. They don't die. Na kabuhu marte. Par Brahma Sangari re. WhyGuru Ji de Swarup ch ped ho jande. They become one in WhyGuru Ji Swarup. There's no difference. They become one. So Guru Sahib Ji here is given us Upadesh. All these other people that we belittle ourselves as the Khalsa. We lower ourselves as the Khalsa when we go to other people. When we go to other Devi Devte. So much happens in our Panth. Or not in Panth, or maybe in the Punjabi traditions, or as a Sikh. Or even Kevari, even Khalsa, those who give their head to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, still go and look in different places. Why do we need to do that? For if Guru Gobind Singh, Brahma, Bishan, Rudra, Suraj, Sasa, they all have to go as well. They all have to die. They'll all be destroyed. But Maharaj says, Har ke sevaka jo har pae, tinki katha narari re, ave na jahe na kabuhu marte. Or now Himarana Thage Jal said earlier, they don't die. Obviously the body has to die, we know that. But the Atma that sits inside, that goes back to Paramatma. Whether it's Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they all want what we have. what do we have? We have this gift of Sikhi that the Guru has given to us. Soranara, Munajana, Amrit Khoj de. So Amrit Gurte, Paya. Sora means Surlok, the Devi Devte. Sora Nara, Nara means the people of this world, Munajana, lower worlds, those who may have Shaktiya. Sora Nara Munajana, Amrit Khoj de. Everybody wants this Amrit. But who can only give Amrit to us now? Panj Pyare in the court of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji. So Amrit Gurte Paya. Can only gain it from the Guru. From Panj Pyare in the Charan Sharan of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji. Bin har naam na baach na pahe. Naam is Amrit, Amrit is Naam. No difference. Where do we gain that from? From Panj Pyare Hanji.
Ved Puran Quran Sabha Mat Ja Kah Net Kah
So इस प्रकार साथ जी चार वेद, the four Veds, Puran, Quran, Sabha Mat, Ja Kah Net Kah hai. They all say कि WhyGuru ji Net hai, Pave Byant hai. That WhyGuru ji has no end. WhyGuru ji has no end. But nobody has been able to understand that. Veda mehnam uttam, so sun hai nahi, fir hai jo betaliya. Guru Amar Das Ji says in Siddhi Anand Sadapad, that in the Veds, Veda meh means which inside. Veda meh uttam, so sun hai nahi. In the Veds, they speak about this true pathway is lost. Fir hai jo betaliya. Everybody wanders around lost and lost and lost. Nobody knows what they're doing. But sometimes it's a good thing. If we first know we're lost, then chalo, now we know we need to find our way back. And the Guru gives us the path. The Guru is the one that puts us on the path. Pule marga jine betaya. Maharaj ji aap keh rahe se pule marga jine betaya. That one who is lost, that doesn't know where they're going, the Guru puts them back on that path. Pichle augan baksale prabha aage marga. They say, Maharaj says that if we made a mistake in the past, we've fallen off the path, the Guru can put us back in the path. Doesn't matter who we are, if we are a papi, a sinner. Guru says it's Gurudeva, Patite Pavitkara. Our Guru, Gurudev, Pave, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Ji, Gurudeva, Patite Pavitkara. Patit here means a papi. Pavit means become pure, Kara means to do. That WhyGuru ji, our Guru, Guru Nanak is the one who makes even the patits, the poppies, the worst sinners of sinners. The worst of the worst, they can make the pavitra again, Hanji.
Indra, Panindra, Munindra, Kalapa Baho, Tyavat, Tyanana Aha.
So Indra means Indra, who is basically the Raja of the Devi Devte, 33 crore Devi Devte. The king of all 330 million Devi Devte. The Sahib Singh ji, even Indra used to do bhakti to become Indra. So when jada si bani padde bhakti kar chalo si koshish kar, we try our best to do these things. A lot of times we have an intention behind why we're doing it, a reason why we do it. Because we want something. And in this case, Indra had the desire, they want to become the Raja all the Devi Devte. He wanted to be the king of kings of all the Devi Devte. And he gained that. Indra, Fanindra. Fanindra he means Sasangaji, Sheshnag. Sheshnag is a very famous snake that comes a lot in Guru Itihas. The name actually comes in Guru Bani as well. Sekhnag, Tero Maramana Jana. Guru Maharaj says that even Sekhnag, Sheshnag, Tero Maramana Jana, they couldn't find your end. Okay, Sheshnag has 1,000 heads. And being a snake, his tongue is split into two. He has two parts to his tongue, like any snake you've probably seen in the movies when we're alive. If you've been unfortunate to see one. They say Sekhnag te the Maramana Jana. They say Sekhnag every single day says a new name for WhyGuru ji. So that's 1,000 names. Because their tongue is split into two, every single day Sheshnag says 2,000 different names of WhyGuru ji every single day. New name. 2,000 every single day. I can't even think of 2,000 today. Let alone tomorrow, another 2,000. So Indra, Munindra, Indra Fanindra, Munindra. Even those who have done bhakti for so long, Muni. Kalap Boho. Kalap Sasangaji is a big number. Kalap equals to 1 day of Brahma. Now we hear about Brahma, so we'd say that Brahma is the creative force. Who gave the Shakti? WhyGuru Ji. Comes in Japji Sahib Eka Mai Jugati Vaitin Chele Parvan Ek Sansarik Pandari Kalai Di Ban. That WhyGuru Ji created Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. WhyGuru Ji created all them, but they became so big-headed that they said that I am God. Brahma Aapa Pada Brahma Bakhana, Guru Gobind Singh Ji writes. Or Mahadev Achota Kehvayo. That Mahadev means Shivji hai. He called himself God as well. So all these different beings are created by God, but they had certain qualities of God, and they said that I am God. But Maharaj says, Oho vekhe ona nadar na ave bahota eho vadan. That God can see them, but they can't see God. They can't see WhyGuru Ji sitting above them. So Maharaj says, Ke Indra Farindra Munindra Kalapa Boho. Kalap is 1 day of Brahma. What does that equal to? That equals to 4,320,000,000 years. That is 1 day of Brahma. If you look at Kaljug, this age we're in right now, the dark age, Kaljug equals to 432,000 years. Kaljug. So this dark age, this is not fixed numbers, this is change per yug, but we say there's 4 yug. Okay, there's Satyug, Treta, Dwapur, Kaljug. Comes so many times in Gurbani. In Kaljug is for 432,000 years. If you add up the time of Satyug, Treta, Dwapur and Kaljug together, it equals to 4,320,000 years. Brahma's age is the whole of the yug times 1,000, and it's called a kalap. If you look at Mahan Kosh, they write this as well. By Khan Singh Nabbaji, they write a kalap equals to 1 day of Brahma, which is this whole 4 yug times 1,000 is 1 day of Brahma. So Guru Sahib says, so imagine this. Indra, Fanindra, Munindra, Kalapa Boho. For 4.32 billion years, Tyavada Tyan, they do bhakti. Tyan long there, they focus, they try to focus on WhyGuru Ji. Tyavada Tyan, na hai. But Fairy Sahs, they don't meet WhyGuru Ji. They cannot meet WhyGuru Ji. They don't gain that. So they're saying that for so long they've tried these things, but bin har naam. Naam to bina, we can do as much as we want, but we will not meet WhyGuru Ji. Bina Satguru, kene na payo, bina Satguru, kene na paya. Without a Satguru, we cannot gain naam. Without naam, we can't meet WhyGuru Ji. So we have to take upon a Satguru. And the only way to take upon a Satguru is taken upon Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib Ji in the Sharan of Panj Pyare. So, as Gyani Ji said earlier as well, there's an Amrit Sanchar happening, Pehli Tareek at this Guru Kar. So, Jive Marji Bachan Kard ke Jin ko lagi pyas, Amrit se khahe. If you have that pyas inside you, or if you just think to yourself, okay, I want to give my head to the Guru, that's all. That's the only question we need to know the answer to. Would I give my head to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj? Nothing else. It's not that complicated. If we don't want to, then most likely we're not ready to do that. But Maharaj says that Indra Fanindra Munindra Kalapa Bhati Avati Ananda hai. That all these different beings have tried for so long, but fairly they didn't meet WhyGuru Ji. Because they didn't have this one thing of naam. Amrit naam, Hanji.
जाकर रूप रंग नह जनियत सो के मैं श्याम कह है.
So Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji bachan karde han. They say in the last 2 lines, Khiliya Pankti vich ke Jakar Roop Rang Neh Janiyat. Jakar, Jisda Roop Rang Neh Janiyat. That we cannot understand their Roop and their Rang. Roop means their form, Rang you can say obviously simply their color. Na ragang, na rangang, na rupang, na rekang. Comes in Guru Gobind Singh Akal Ustad. Na ragang, na rangang. They have no color. Na rupang. They have no form. Na rekang. They don't have these rek like these lines that we have on our hands. They are beyond all these things. Chakkara chehen. Ara barna jat. Ara paat nahin jehe. They have no jat, paat, chakkar, Jai Hind, they don't have these lines as well. They said that one is beyond all of this. Jakara Rupa Rangana He Janita Sokima. Sokima, how? Syama kya hai? Syam hai means Krishna ji. Syam also means Kala, dark. Because Krishna ji was known to be very dark. So in today's world, we say that if you're Dunyavi Tort, in the world they say if you're light colored, you're beautiful. They say it, right? And that's why people, they bleach their skin, they do all these things. We say the lighter you are is seen as beauty in the world today. But in those days, the darker you were, the more beautiful you were. If you go back 500 years ago, it's a bit off topic, but like today, the world says that to be beautiful in the worldly eyes, you got to be slim, you got to have this certain type of body. You go back 500 years ago, people that are a bit overweight were seen as very attractive. It's all the body, just again, with the times, right? Because you're seen as that person had a lot of money. Rupa, just body we're attached to. Umar is saying that WhyGuru is beyond all these things. WhyGuru is beyond the body. Na ragang, na rupang, na rangang, na rupa, na rekang. They're beyond all these kind of things, Maharaji says. So kamasyama kya hai? How can you say that Krishna ji? How can you say that this body? WhyGuru is beyond the body. WhyGuru is beyond. Neta hai, neta ka hai. Beyond hai WhyGuru ji. There's no end to WhyGuru ji. We cannot limit WhyGuru ji to anything. Aneka hai, phir ek hai. They're everything. So Akhili Pankaj Maji fi bachan kar diyan Hanji.
Shut ho kal jalate tabhi tahe charan lapta hai.
So how can we be saved? This is the $1 million question or £1 million question. You can see England which is there. So we say £1 million question. What is the answer here? Chut ho kal jalate tabhi. Kal jal. Kal di fahi. The noose of death. Chuttaho means to be saved. Chuttaho kala jalate tabhi, tadohi, tabhi means when, tahe charna lapata hai. When we hold into the Guru's charan, we hold into the Guru's feet. Meaning the next time we matha take, don't just take our head and smash it on the floor. In that moment, put our matha on the floor and realize that is not the floor our matha take into, that is not a book. That is Guru Gobind Singh Ji. I'm holding on to Guru Gobind Singh Ji charan at that time. My hands are holding the Guru's charan. Tahe charna lapata hai. Hold on to the Guru's charan. What is the Guru's charan today? We say the Guru is not here in the physical body. What is the Guru's charan? Guru Gobind Singh Ji tells us what is that charan. They say Chitta Charna Naam in Job Sahib. That the Guru's charan is naam. It is Gurbani. Main Gurbani adhar hai, Gurbani lag raha, that my support is Gurbani. Jin nar naam tiharo kaha, darid dust dok te raha. Jin nar, jis nar, that person, jin nar naam tiharo kaha. That person who says your name, that does naam japana, jin nar naam tiharo kaha, Darid, the lidari, laziness. Dard the dukh, dokh, oh the dukh. Dard the dokh, dard the dukh, dokh te raha. All these things are taken away. Khadga ket mai sarn tahari. Is prakar, hey WhyGuru ji, khadga ket. Khadg he means a shastar. Ket means a nishan. A nishan side has a khadg on it, a shastar. Meaning, Guru Gobind Singh said that WhyGuru ji shastar tari. The WhyGuru ji carries a shastar. That's how we say Prithama Pagauti Simraka Guru Nanak Letia. Prithami he means Pella. I do Namaskar to Pagauti. Pagauti the arthe is WhyGuru ji. Just like in Siddhi Sukunisa, Pagauti Pagavant comes there as well, that Shabad. Maharaji saying that Khadga Ket Mai Sarna Tahari. Hey WhyGuru ji, मैं आप जिस शरण विच आया हाँ, I've come into your sanctuary. आप हाथ दे ले हो बारी कि साडी रक्षा करो, protect me with your own hand. Sarbathod moho sahai. Sarbathod means everywhere I go in this whole world. Sarbathod, thod means tha. Every single place I go to, Sarbathod moho sahai. Sahai here means sahayata, protection, support. Dusta dokhte leho bachai. Protect me from all these dushta lok, all these enemies, physical and that sit in my mind. Tahe charan na pata hai. So come into the Guru's charan and do this bent to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji ke hamari karo haath de racha, puran hoye chit ki ichha, tav charanan man rahe hamara apara jaan karo pratipara. Tav charanan man rahe hamara. Ta may always stay in your charana sharan. This is the bent you should do to Guru Sahib Ji, to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji. So that brings us to the end of the katha. There's more vichar that I had that I wanted to do, but time has run out, so we'll leave it there. As much as Guru Sahib wanted us to share. So for the past 10 weeks, we go for the katha of Patshahi Dasvee, Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj Ji's Bani, Shabad Hazaare, Patshahi Dasvee. So many mistakes made in the katha vichar from the start, from the first Shabad to this 10th one. So again, please with the mistakes made in the Shabad, in the Shabads that we're going through. There'll be a Japji Sahib course. Actually, Japji Sahib course not happening today. We have a special talk by Amarpal Singh Ji on who is Amarpal Singh Ji. Those who don't know who they are, they don't follow the news, or they've been following it recently. We have a full presentation by one of our Guru Sikhs upstairs as well, by Mandeep Singh's come down from Birmingham. So please do join us for the Chaupai Sahib job. So the hall is before the Langar hall on your right hand side, the stairs. You go upstairs and then the hall is there. So do Chaupai Sahib job for Chaupai Sahib, the part of the baad, then we'll do the presentation, be Kirtan, then we'll finish off. So again, Inya bent Pravan Karniya Sahas in peace with the mistakes made in all these weeks of Katha, Maj Kirpa Karan to continue the seva, and that we can also apply the teachings that we're sharing with the Sangha. So Deho Sajjana Sariya, Jo Hove Sahib Syo Mel.
जाकर रूप रंग नह जनियत सो किम श्याम कह शुट हो काल जालते तब ही ताहे चरण लपटा है।
वाहे गुरु जी का खालसा,
वाहे गुरु जी के फतेह।
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. WhyGuru Ji ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji ki Fateh.